Stevens is wearing makeup, red lipstick, blue eyeliner, and looks handsome in an aristocratic wig. Stevens is a prince and is going to hold a ball at the castle. After the ball started, Stevens danced in it. At this moment, Agathe in a cloak pushed the door in. Agathe begged Stevens to take shelter from the rain, and took out a rose as a reward. Stevens took the rose and dropped it on the ground. Stevens says Agathe doesn't deserve to be here. Agathe reminds Stevens not to judge people by appearance, but Stevens doesn't listen to Agathe at all and wants to drive Agathe out. At this moment, Agathe's body glowed, and Agathe turned into a beautiful witch. Stevens knelt down and begged for mercy, and Agathe unleashed magic, turning Stevens into a beast, and the servants into all kinds of furniture. Then, Agathe cast a spell on the castle, so that it will be immersed in ice and night forever. To break the spell, Stevens must find someone who truly loves him before the rose withers, otherwise they will not be able to return to human beings. In this way, time passed slowly, and Stevens could only watch the petals gradually wither. Stevens fell into despair, because no one can fall in love with a beast. On this day, Morris came here, and Morris wanted to pick a white rose to bring to his daughter. Morris had just picked the roses when a beast rushed out. The frightened horse galloped all the way back home. Morris' daughter Emma knew something was wrong when the horse came back. Emma got on the horse and rushed out, and the horse took Emma back to the castle the same way. Emma picked up a stick and heard her father's voice as soon as she entered the castle. Emma followed the sound and saw her father on the roof. Morris told Emma to leave quickly, saying there were monsters here. But, at this moment, a voice came from behind, and Emma walked over with a candlestick. But the monster in front of her scared Emma. Emma negotiated terms with Stevens, and Emma accepted the punishment for her father. Emma locked herself up while her father wasn't paying attention. Stevens took Morris out. Just then, the servant opened the door, and he led Emma to a room with a talking wardrobe. Looking at the beautiful Emma, these servants are very happy. In order to increase Emma's favor towards Stevens, they asked Stevens to invite Emma to dinner.
Now, remember, be gentle.
Kind. Charming.
Sweet. And when she opens the door, give her a dashing debonair smile. Come, show me the smile.
Will you join me for dinner?
You've taken me as your prisoner and now you want to have dinner with me? Are you insane?
Uh-oh. He's losing it.
Oh dear. I told you to join me for dinner!
And I told you no!
Stevens and Emma turned and left after arguing. The servant changed Emma into beautiful clothes, and then performed a wonderful song and dance. After that, Emma broke into the attic where the roses were placed by accident. The curious Emma just touched the glass cover. At this moment,
what are you doing here? What did you do to it? Nothing. Do you realize what you could have done? You could have damned us all! Get out of here! Go!
Emma was frightened by Stevens and rode out of the castle. Emma was stared at by a group of hungry wolves, and had nowhere to escape. Helpless, Emma got off her horse and picked up the stick, but Emma was deprived of her weapon by the hungry wolf. Emma was in danger, and at this moment Stevens rushed out and knocked the Wolf King into the air. The three wolves rushed up, but Stevens broke free quickly. The Wolf King rushed up and bit Stevens tightly. Stevens defeated the Wolf King again, and the wolves were scared away. And Stevens also fell to the ground. Emma took Stevens back to the castle. The two quarreled again, but at this time the seeds of love had slowly germinated. Emma had learned about Stevens through the servants. It turns out that Stevens lost his parents since he was a child, and Stevens grew up with servants. But no one ever taught Stevens how to get along with other people. Emma, who loves to read, told Stevens the story of Romeo and Juliet. But Stevens thinks this kind of love story is just for children, and Stevens has better books. So Stevens took Emma to the study. Everything in front of her made Emma stay in place. There were a lot of books here. Emma and Stevens read books together, have dinner together, and play snowball fights together. On this day, the servant prepared a ball for the two. The two looked at each other, and there was a little love for each other in their hearts. Under the melodious dance music, Emma stretched out her hands, and the two danced to the rhythm. When the dance music ended, Emma suddenly thought of her father. Stevens handed Emma a magic mirror, and Emma saw that her father was being bullied by the villagers. Morris said that Emma was caught by wild animals and wanted the villagers to rescue Emma with him. The villagers didn't believe Morris' words. Stevens asked Emma to put on the magic mirror and go back to save her father. Stevens wondered if Emma would never come back. Stevens is willing to become a beast forever for Emma. Emma went back to the village and took out the magic mirror to clear her innocence. Sure enough, The picture of the beast appeared on the magic mirror, and the villagers backed away in fright. Gaston took the magic mirror and said that Emma was bewitched by the beast. The villagers locked up Emma and Morris. Then the villagers headed towards the castle. Guided by the magic mirror, the villagers came to the castle. The servants heard movement outside, and thought it was Emma coming back, but what they saw was a group of intruders, and they hurriedly took precautions. On the other side, Morris unlocked the door with a hairpin, and Emma rode towards the castle. At this time, there was chaos in the castle, and the villagers were attacked. A stool that bites, a hanger that punches, a teapot that sprays water, and a piano that shoots bullets. The villagers were beaten and ran out of the castle. At this time, Gaston found Stevens, and Gaston fired directly. At this time Emma rushed over and knocked out Gaston's gun. After Stevens saw Emma, Stevens beat Gaston. However, the kind Stevens let Gaston go, but Gaston didn't repent and attacked Stevens behind his back. Stevens fell into Emma's arms, and Gaston didn't end well, falling off the bridge. Emma looked at Stevens in pain. At this moment, the last petal withered, the furniture lost its power, and became real furniture, and Stevens lost his breath. Emma hugged the dead Stevens and said I love you, then kissed it, and then Stevens turned into a handsome prince. The castle's curse was lifted, and the furniture became human again. In the end, Stevens and Emma lived happily ever after.